Pillars for an excellent marriage. Has not the Lord made them one? In flesh and spirit they are his. And why one? And why one? Because he was seeking godly offspring. So guard yourself in your spirit, and do not break faith with the wife of your youth. This is Malachi 2 and verse 15. Pillars for an excellent marriage. And the pillar of today is godly offspring. One of the things that makes the marriage excel is the children. But not all type of children, but godly children. The Lord here is saying, why did he made the husband and wife one in flesh and in spirit? He says, because he was looking or seeking godly offspring. If your children are wicked, they can become agent of Satan in breaking your marriage. Children are a very strong principle for a good marriage. That is why Paul told Timothy in 1 Timothy 3 and verse 4, he must manage his own family well and see that his children obey him with the proper respect. If anyone does not know how to manage his own family, how can he take care of God's church? And he insisted, and he said that his children obey him with the proper respect. So there is respect and there is proper respect. And he is saying, why does God make a man and a woman one flesh and one spirit? It's because he is looking for godly children. So the nature and the type of the children you have can determine the survival of any marriage. If you have a time to speak with many people who are in the marriage and they are going through hardships and struggles, battling, you will always hear somebody asking you, and what are you still doing in that marriage? And you should hear somebody saying, I'm here because of my children. You will ask a man, what are you still doing with her? If this is a kind you are saying she is. And you hear the man is saying, because of my children. Me, I cannot allow my children to be brought up without a father when I'm in this life. And before they know it, they have passed the age of divorce. Children are a key glue. And the Bible that says, what kind of children? The children that are godly. So if your children wayward, if your children start becoming evil and wicked, then those children can become agents of transporting into the family toxic energies that will eventually destroy the atmosphere. How many children have we seen doing deliverance of them? And they were the agents in the family. So whenever you sleep, the child has become a host of demonic forces. The demons come and enter into her and now can operate in that house. So the child is an agent. And I remember I've done several deliverances, but I remember one deliverance that I did of a single child. Had made their father run away and go and start living very far away from the family. And when he was asked why, he does not have a proper explanation. The day I did deliverance of that child, she was a girl. The day I did deliverance for that girl, it was around like 1 p.m. By 4, their father had called and he said, I'm coming. And by Monday he was at home. And when asked, why did you go away? He cannot explain why. The children are a very key, important ingredient to a successful marriage, because children they provide strength for the bond. The children can make a husband and a wife who are in conflict reason together because of the welfare of the children. By the way, children are born in such a way they are supposed to be solution motivators. They bring the sense of familyhood. Children actually are parameters of personal growth. If you look at your children, can tell you whether you are growing or you are not growing. They are also for emotional fulfillment and shared responsibility and sense of prayers. Children can make you to live in prayers, praying for your child. Before you know it, that child became the glue that made you stick together. Can you consider 1 Corinthians 7:14? 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 14 said, for the unbelieving husband has been sanctified through his wife, and the unbelieving wife has been sanctified through her husband, believing husband. Otherwise, your children will be unclean, but as it is, they are holy. So why should God come to sanctify the couple? It's because God wants you to bring to the earth a child that is sanctified, a child that is clean. Because why? God is in a battle of developing a holy seed after the blood corruption was done by the sons of God in Genesis 6 when they took women and married somebody and produced a corrupted breed. So the Lord is still working on developing a human race that is clean. That is why when we read Psalms 127, 3-4, Psalms 127, 3-4, 127, 3-4 says, sons are a heritage from the Lord, children are reward from him, like arrows in the hands of a warrior are sons born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they contend with their enemies in the gate. Who? The one who have children. When you are fighting your enemies, your children are arrows. So the Lord can make you win battle against your enemies through your children, because they are holy, and the Lord would not want your children to suffer. So he can give you victory for the sake of those children's life. Psalms 128 and verse 3 says, your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house, but your sons, your children, will be like olive shoots round your temple. Thus is the man blessed who fears the Lord. That is why when the children came to the Lord said, let children come to me, for as such is for the kingdom of God. And then after these children were blessed by Jesus, they went back to their fathers and mothers with a new grace. And that was Jesus said that do not harm children, because their angels stand before God every morning. So meaning children can host angels in their families. And when these angels are working toward the betterment of these children don't have their own life. Their lives are implemented by the parents, and as such, the atmosphere that is angelic. That is why we need to work very much on our children. They can become the glue that will stick, or that will make you stick and remain together in good and in bad, in plenty and in lack, until you make it. And at the end of the day, when you look back and you see, how did we get here in Exodus? You will say, by the way, it was for the sake of the children. You never wanted your children to be without both parents.